by Glenn Beck. Glenn,
how are you?
Talk to me about uniting principles.
We find these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. Among these, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The uniting principles of, I don't care if you believe in God or don't believe in God. I have a right to believe in God. I have a right to practice my religion, and you have a right to not believe in God and not practice your religion or practice another religion. You have a right to go out on the street corner and say, wait a minute, this is wrong. What's happening in Washington or in our city hall or whatever is wrong? The press has a right to ask questions, just like every animal. I mean, remember, a lot of people believe we came from monkeys. I don't, but a lot of people believe we came from monkeys. Okay, great. Then let's look at the natural law. I have a right to protect myself, just like the bear in the cave does. I have a right to be free from search and seizure. Who are you? Stop. Hold it just a second. I have a right to be secure in my person. I have a right to be secure in my home with my papers and my documents. And you can't listen. Those are uniting principles, but those are the founding documents.
You know, Glenn, I've been watching you for quite some time. I know everybody watching right now has been watching you for quite some time. You've been talking about all those things you just mentioned. You've been talking about them for quite a while. And I don't ask this of you just to peer into the mistakes you feel like you have made, but actually as lessons for all of us, those of us in front of cameras and behind cameras. What mistakes? You have spent time talking about the things you just laid out. So what mistakes have you made? What did you do to divide us?
I think, and I mean, look, there's no way that I could have done it any different than I did. I mean, so I don't go back and try to replay. I only go back to look at what is it that I can change now that might reach more people. And I think that is, if I possibly would have talked less about the Republicans and Democrats, if I would have, and you know, part of this is being on a network that, you know, when I was at CNN, that was the Communist News Network, and then when I was at Fox, and that was the Republican Network. And so I was branded as a Republican. And if I could have talked less, or we could have made more impact on the libertarian front away from the Republican Party, I think it would have been a lot different or a lot better, because we need to throw more curveballs at people. Right. When they expect you to be a certain way and or a certain thing, don't be that, because that's not who you are.
You know, I had the Real News producers ask your producers today if we could talk about this, but have sort of a new mission statement here at The Blaze. You talked about it over Christmas. I actually have a picture. I took it earlier today, a blackboard at our New York office that shows the mission statement is that we tell stories of love and courage where the good guys win. I want to ask you that in this context, and I'll be honest, I actually consider this a little bit of, you know, I guess it would be personal career advice, but, you know, the concept of good guys and bad guys isn't necessarily new, specifically not new to political talk. It's evident in sports talk. There's teamism in politics, Republicans, Democrats. It's easy to paint a good guy and bad guy narrative for many people. It's hard for me. You know, last night we had a conversation on the show about inequality, and the bad guy that I identify in that debate is the concept of envy. But that lives inside all of us, right? That's not particular to any particular party. Some embrace it, some do not. It's inside all of us. How do you do good guy and bad guy with uniting principles?
The same way I explained the Constitution, the preamble of the Constitution, to my 7-year-old daughter earlier this week. Promote the general welfare. Does it uplift? Does it empower people? Does it make them better? Or does it push them down? Does it keep people in their place? Does it discourage people? Does it tear things down? I look at things that will promote the general welfare. And that means, to me, because we believe in individualism, that means what can we do that will empower people? The good guys are the ones who just try to do the right things. You know, they might be, you know, they might fail in the end on what they were trying to do, because what they were trying to do was a bad idea or wasn't, you know, but they were good people. They tried to do the right thing. They tried to stand up against the machine. I think that's how I would define good guys. To the people who are empowering others.
Hi, Glenn. It's Tara. You know,
Hi,
that
Tara.